Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our last storyteller of the evening, Reema Zaman.
Hello, everyone. Is this okay if I just go like that? Is that the whole thing? Hi. The year is 2013, and I am 30 years old, and I am living with my mom and dad in Beaverton, which is very exotic for me because exoticism is a subjective reality, and I am a stranger in a strange land. I didn't grow up in this home, nor with this set of parents. I grew up halfway across the world, in Bangladesh and Thailand, with the same mother, but a different father. A father who loves me fiercely and loves with ferocity. I asked Mom and Dad if I could move into their home for a short spell to write a memoir that would put to heal the shadows of our past, a memoir that would help me light a new future. I have this sly hypothesis that by living in this home with this set of parents, through osmosis, I will learn what true love looks like and feels like. I print some chapters of the growing manuscript, and the printer lives in Dad's office. Dad is a teacher for an online school. I call him Dad, although he is my stepdad. But that term always feels inadequate and lacking because it is a technicality and there's nothing technical about love. Dad is a teacher for 5th grade students, and I can hear his voice through the walls, talking to his students in this voice that is so gentle, so wise, so deep, like the calmest ocean. And I don't knock on his office door for the chapters that I printed because I don't want to interrupt him, so I busy myself with going out for a run. And when I return home, I see on my bed 8 chapters, collated, organized, and secured safely with 8 pink paperclips. He actually looked in that plastic little dish for 8 pink paperclips. I look down on the page, and there on the paper is the line, "I am 4." And immediately I am transported back in time. I am 4. I have a cold. Cold makes my fingers and toes white. I put my hands in my mouth as far as they will go, all the way up to my knuckles, trying to make them warm, but this doesn't work. I take my hands and I put them under my armpits, and then in between my legs, but still it doesn't work. I cough, and it hurts, and my mouth tastes like a coin. Why is the child coughing? Papa's voice is hard, like the ground. She has a cold. Mama's voice is slow, quiet, like a lake. Stop it. Papa uses his angry voice. I order my throat to stop. The cough pushes against my throat, it burns, and my eyes turn wet. The place where my heart lives starts hurting. Love is love, but it sits inside people differently. In Mama, love makes her soft. In Papa, love makes him hard, makes him stay. Stop it. Coughing. Stop. It is love. The paper, the pages, the child, the voice. I am 11. We are visiting family in Bangladesh. I can feel my cousin approaching like an incoming storm. He is 20 years older than me. I have been warned about him by other girls in my family of the things he has done to them. I have always known to stay away from him. I know to leave the room every time he enters. I know to break free from his hold every time he hugs. I've known to do this the way farmers know how to protect their crops from an approaching storm. I manage to escape, and then I go to Papa to tell him what this man has almost done and to tell him of the things he has done to others. I tell Papa. His upper lip curls in revulsion. Good, I think he's going to do something. Boys will be boys. This happens, especially between cousins. I know Papa loves me. He is only reciting the words he has been taught to recite. Still, I swallow something that tastes like a piece of me. The paper, the pages, the child swallowed. I am 18. A teacher in my high school has started stalking me. He sends me elaborate handwritten letters, each letter written entirely in red ink, the font capitalized, so uniformly erect that it resembles font. He has started calling me on classroom phones as well. He tells me I am a naughty girl and I deserve to be punished. On every call, he says that he is recording these calls. And at age 18, as far as I can tell, this is just how men are. They scour the globe looking for girls' voices to trap in little metal boxes. I report everything to the high school principal. He confiscates the evidence and orders me to return to class. At the door of his office, as I'm about to leave, he says, "Thank you for being quiet." I don't remember offering my silence. It is assumed. That night, I approach Papa. Papa, a teacher has been stalking me. He calls and he sends letters. Papa's upper lip curls in revulsion. Good, I think. He's going to do something. He looks up from his newspaper. Gano, tum ki korso? Why? What did you do? I didn't do anything, Papa, I swear. I feel tiny, devastated. Stupid girl. Seek not a father you won't find. The paper, the pages, the girl, silenced. I am 20. After spending my entire teenage years urging Mama to feel strong enough to leave him, she tries to leave once, twice, thrice, only to return, a designated pendulum on her conditioned course. I try to fill her with nourishment and strength from half a planet away, from my dorm room in New York. From every Skype call, every email, we sign off with the same line, "Thank you for being mine and letting me be yours." Love works. Finally, she files for divorce. And halfway across the world, I open up my laptop to receive an email from my father announcing my disownment. He writes that I have betrayed him. I advocated for their divorce. I failed to save their marriage. I am unfit as a daughter and therefore disowned. I read the email twice, waiting for tears that never arrive. His love has always felt like a time of day I'm trying to catch and can't. As though locked in a house without windows, set free only after the sun has risen high, I race now toward the light. Too late, too lacking to ever feel warm. The paper, the pages, the girl, rejected. I am 23. I am fortunate that my rapist is economical with time, pain, and me. Like this story and so many others, I choose not to share it with my family because I have been taught that speaking one's truth is often a punishable crime. The paper, the pages, the girl, silenced. I am 27 and now in a marriage of my own, married to a man who has grown to loathe me. He is gorgeous, talented, with a larger-than-life personality, born and raised in wealthy California, born and raised with every privilege under the sun, including the privilege of being treated as the almighty son, and around him I orbit. I Met him when I was 25, and I fell in love with him with the sudden complete ease that a body slips into quicksand. After being treated like I was invisible and worthless my entire life by the men around me, being around his ravenous pull felt wonderful. It felt like I finally belonged to someone. But lo and behold, a few months into our marriage, his ravenous hunger festers into a lust for dominance and control. He starts to police all my choices. He chooses what I'm allowed to wear. He buys me oversized sweater dresses to hide me from prying eyes. He starts wiping my makeup off my face so that I don't resemble a painted whore. He dominates over every financial choice and even career decision. He tells me to rein in my voice because it is arrogant to assume that others would want to hear my opinion. In addition to his temper, he also has an appetite for other women. He calls his other women sister wives, his reasoning being that having these other women would alleviate the pressure on me to be perfect for him, because the task of making him happy can be evenly distributed amongst various girls. On the days when he is unhappy with me, he tells me I am his wife for greensies and not for realsies, to remind me that my green card was procured through marriage, to remind me that I am tied and beholden to him, and were I to speak out against him, I could be rejected and even deported, to remind me that I can be so easily disowned. Where do you go? Where did you go? Where have you gone? Come back. But then I start to write. Unbeknownst to my husband, I start to wake up every morning with the furious urgency of a soul staving off death to write mysterious chapters of a growing book, and as this book takes shape, it brings me clarity, and clarity becomes my courage, the courage I need to finally say on Valentine's night 2011, a word that I have been trained to never utter to a man, no. And initially that word sounds so strange in my mouth, so foreign, so new, like a small, cold, hard pebble perched on my tongue, begging to be spat out. What? He frowns. His upper lip curls in revulsion. No, I repeat. You are not the one who controls my narrative. I reject this inheritance. Only I author my life, and I was born for a story. I was born for a love so much bigger than you. To speak is a revolution, and it was time to ignite mine. That first no is always the hardest, but the voice is a muscle, and the more we use it, the stronger it grows. That first time that I said no to my ex-husband, he laughed and then grew angry. But I kept saying no, 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 until finally he evicted me from our home. I had $60, my laptop, and my newborn pages. The paper, the pages, the woman freed. I took my pages and I called Mom and Dad in Beaverton, Oregon, and I asked them if I could move in with them so that I could develop those words into a book, and they said yes. Never underestimate the impact of a love given only to be withdrawn, of a love given only to be disowned, to be reowned, and to be disowned again, like a pendulum. That confusion and pain and instability will take residency in your body like a black hole, and from that heaving deficit, you will race toward the sun, yearning to be seen, achieving only in being burned. But let the burning be part of your becoming. Ultimately, I am so grateful to Papa. I know that he loved me the best he could, the best he can. And it is only through adversity that we can harness our deepest resilience. Resilience comes from turning our wounds into wisdom, our pain into poetry, and those poetry into pages. I stand here with pages cradled in my hand, and I show them to Mama, and I say, Mama, look, 8 pink paperclips. She smiles. Of course, he is your dad. Never underestimate the power of love that is soft,
Amen.
love that is kind, love that is constant, love that does not look away. Never underestimate the power of a sought and found parent. Back in 2013, I had no idea of, or no evidence that these chapters will turn into a book, and that book will be published in February 2019, and it will be a wild success, and the voice will sweep the globe. I had no idea of that, but I do have the one thing that will allow for any other success, any other thing in my life to be achieved, and it is the evidence that I am loved and deserving of love and success and joy. It is everything. To you, a pink paperclip is a mere twist of plastic. To me, it is my plot twist. It is my child self, remembered, reclaimed, reborn. It is the woman whose voice is valued by a man she holds in great esteem. It is a new inheritance. I love you, Dad. Thank you for being mine and letting me be yours.